What I'd like to tell you today is what tissue microarrays are. I'm going to refer to them as TMAs. It's easier to say. TMAs allow us to validate or discover biomarkers, which is very important in the concepts of high-throughput analyses. These TMAs allow us in a large-scale fashion to infer relationships between levels of protein expression and function, and in many instances we're talking about function in relationship to clinical outcome. And they can serve as a part of a component of a multi-platform integrated analysis of high-throughput expression of genes, proteomes, kinomes, etc. So in the past, before we had tissue microarrays, which have only been around for the last decade or so, a scientist comes up with an interesting molecule or biomarker that they think might matter in terms of patient care. And what they had to do to go back and validate that was go to their pathologist, ask the pathologist to collect tissue blocks from a number, hundreds to thousands of cases, prepare slides, stain and analyze each of these slides, and each time you did a new biomarker, you had to go back and do this process over and over and over again. Enormous amount of time and energy. And your data series in the past have been on 20, 30, or 40 cases. So what a TMA is an alternative approach to the same process, where we actually take small cores, tiny cores out of the primary patient block, tumor block, maybe a millimeter or so in diameter. And we use hundreds of these, take hundreds of these cores out of different patient blocks and put them into a single TMA block that can then be sectioned. And on each slide, instead of getting just one case, you get hundreds of cases. So this is just a miniature archive example in which 500 blocks from different patient tumors have been cored to create a single tissue array. And from this single tissue array, or this single block, you can expect that you can get approximately 200 sections or slides that can be cut from this block. So in reality, instead of having to analyze 500 cases in one section, you get to, in one slide, you get to analyze one case. And if you do the math here, what that basically boils down to is the ability to evaluate 100,000 samples out of a single block. This is actually what the block looks like. It's blown up, so it's just a standard histologic block where individual patient cores, so each of these circles you see here are cores of tissue that have been put in this block. They're put in a very organized fashion, quadrant fashion, that allows whoever's scoring it to go back and correlate the core with a specific case. And depending on the size of the core that you choose to put into the block, you can get as many as 750 cases into a single TMA block. Thank you.